A right is delayed, a right is denied. A very warm greetings to everyone. I am Jewel Mariam George of class 10A, standing before you to speak a few words on the topic human rights. Human Rights Day is celebrated on 10 December, the day the United Nations National Assembly adopted in 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights UDHR. The UDHR is a milestone document that ensures the human rights all over the world and on earth, regardless of their race, gender, language, their social or national opinion, political rights, or any other status. This document is translated over 500 languages and is also the most translated document in this whole world. This year's Human Rights Day theme is Cover Better and Stand Up for Human Rights. This theme also relates with the COVID-19 situation which we all are facing worldwide today by ensuring the better build back of our nation and society. While there is a concern about the rights such as right to fair trial, prohibition of genocide, protection against enslavement, there is a disagreement about the following rights to be taken as the framework of human rights. I would like to conclude my words by saying that to deny people's human rights is to challenge their humanity. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
All humans are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Hi, I am Chenneerkara, and today I'm going to speak a few words on human rights and how it works. The idea of human rights is that each one of us, no matter who we are or where we are born, is entitled to the same basic rights and freedom. Human rights are not privileges and they cannot be granted or revoked. They are inalienable and universal. This may sound straightforward enough, but it gets incredibly complicated as soon as we try to put it into practice. What exactly are human rights? Who gets to pick them? Who enforces them and how? The history behind the concept of human rights is a long one. Throughout the centuries, across religions, societies, and cultures, we struggle defining our notions of rightfulness, justice, and rights. But one of the most modern affirmations of universal human rights emerged from the ruins of World War II with the creation of United Nations. The treaty that established the UN gave one of its most important purposes to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights. Today, 10th of December, with the same spirit in 1948, the UN General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. This document, written by an international committee, has become the most translated text in the world. In this document, with the 30 articles, there are the civil and the political liberty, such as the right to life, right to vote, freedom of expression, or the prohibition in the slavery or torture. Rights are interdependent, indivisible, and interrelated. This means if a right is not respected, a series of other rights won't be either. If you are homeless, you live in the streets. You can't sleep. So you get sick. So you can't go to school. So you won't find a job. So the violation to the right of housing triggers the violation to the rest, to violation in the right to education, right to work, etc. These are cultural and social and economic rights. International human rights has grown, deepening and expanding our understanding on what is human rights and how to better protect them. We are all responsible for everybody else's well-being. So let's get involved in it and protest against injustices and make the universal ideals succeed. Thank you.
Namaste. Human Right. Article 1. All humans are born in free and equal in dignity and right. They are endowed with reason and conscience, and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Thank you.
Article 2. Everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth, and other status. Furthermore, no distinction shall be made on the basis of political, jurisdictional, or international status of the country to which the person belongs, whether it be independent, trust, non-self-governing, or under any other limitation of sovereignty. Thank you.
Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. No one shall be held in slavery or servitude. Slavery and the slave trade shall be prohibited in all their forms.
Good morning to all. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a milestone document in the history of human rights. The declaration was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on 10th December 1948. Today I am going to talk about Article 5, which deals with the torture or to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. Torture is one of the most extreme forms of human violence, resulting in both psychological and physical consequences. It has been used for thousands of years and it is still occurring throughout much of the world. The right to the freedom from torture is a universally recognized human right and one of the foundation of international law. Torture as well as cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment is banned in all times and cannot be justified. An act by which severe pain or suffering, whether physical or mental, is intentionally inflicted on a person for such purpose. Article offers a overview of 5 reasons why torture should be banned. First, torture is an effective interrogation tool. Second, torture causes psychological and physical trauma. Third, torture is illegal and cannot be justified. Fourth, torture bears legal consequences. Fifth, torture is immoral. Torture in this way violates the human dignity and right of the victim. However, the acts of torture do not only harm the victim, but it is also damage the moral reputation of government and the institution that carries it out. It led to intentional dissent and damage its integrity. Thank you.
Good morning. 10 December, Human Rights Day. Today I am going to speak about Section 15 of the Human Rights Act. Every person has the right to recognition as a person before the law. Every person has the right to enjoy the person's human right without discrimination. Every person is equal before the law and is entitled to the equal protection of the law without discrimination. Every person has the right to equal and effective protection against discrimination. Measures taken for the purpose of assisting or advancing persons or groups of persons disadvantaged because discrimination do not constitute discrimination. Thank you.
Article number 7. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled equal protection against any discrimination in violation of this declaration against any incitement to such discrimination.
Article 8. Everyone has the right to an effective remedy by the competent national tribunal for acts violating the fundamental rights granted him by the Constitution or by law.
Article 9. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile.
Auspicious occasion, I am here to discuss Article 10 of Human Rights Act. Friends, what does Article 10 defines? It defines everyone is entitled in full equality to a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal in the determination of his rights and obligations and of any criminal charge against him.
Article 11. Everyone charged with a penal offence has the right to be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to law in a public trial at which he has had all the guarantees necessary for his defence. No one shall be held guilty of any penal offence on account of any act or omission which did not constitute a penal offence under national or international law at the time when it was committed. Nor shall a heavier penalty be imposed than the one that was applicable at the time the penal offence was committed. Thank you.
Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to the protection of law against such interference and attacks.
Article 13. 1. Everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of each state. 2. Everyone has the right to leave any country, including his own, and to return his country. Thank you.
Article number 14. Everyone has right to seek and to enjoy in other countries asylum and persecution. This right may not be invoked in the case of prosecutions genuinely arising non-political crimes or in the case of acts contrary to the purposes and principles of United Nations. Thank you.
Article 15. Everybody has a right to a nationality. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of his nationality, nor denied the right to change his nationality.
On the occasion of Human Rights Day today, I am here to explain the Article 16. First, men and women of full age without any limitation due to race, nationality, or religion have the right to marry and to found a family. They are entitled to equal rights as to marriage, during marriage, and at its dissolution. Second, marriage shall be entered into only with the free and full consent of the intending spouses. Third, the family is the natural and fundamental unit of society and is entitled to protection by the society and the state. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Today is Human Rights Day and it is going to celebrate in a world. Related to this special day, I am going to say about Article number 17. That is right to own property. There are two important sentences that everyone has the right to own their property alone as well as in association with others. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of their property. These are the two important sentences. Thank you.
Article 18. Everyone has the right to freedom for thoughts, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or freedom, either alone or in community and in public or private. In manifest alone, manifest is religion or belief in teachings, practice, and worship and observance.
Article number 19. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expressions. This right includes the freedom to hold an opinion without any interference and to seek, receive and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers.
Article 20. Everyone has the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and association. No one may be compelled to belong to an association.
Article 21. Everyone has a right to take part in the government of his country, directly or through freely chosen representatives. Everyone has a right to equal access to public services in his country. The will of the people shall be the basis of the authority of the government. This will shall be expressed in periodic and genuine elections, which shall be by universal and equal suffrage, and shall be held by secret vote or equal and free voting procedures. Thank you.
Article 22. Everyone, as a member of society, has the right to social security and is entitled to realization through national effort and international cooperation and in accordance with the organization and resources of each state of the economic, social and cultural rights indispensable of his dignity and the free development of his personality.
Today, I will be discussing about Article 23. Article 23 says that everyone has the right to work, to free choice of employment, to just and favorable conditions of work, and to protection against unemployment. Second, everyone without any discrimination has the right to equal pay for equal work. Third, everyone who works has the right to just and favorable remuneration, ensuring for himself and his family an existence worthy of human dignity and supplemented, if necessary, by other means of social protection. Fourth, everyone has the right to form and to join trade unions for the protection of his or her interests.
Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitations of working hours and periodic holidays with pay.
Article 25 states that everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of himself and of his family, including food, clothing, housing and medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other lack of livelihood in circumstances beyond his control. Motherhood and childhood are entitled to special care and assistance. All children, whether born in or out of wedlock, shall enjoy the same social protection.
Article 26. Everyone has a right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Elementary education shall be compulsory. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. Education shall be directed to the full development of human personality and to the strengthening of respect for human rights and fundamental freedom. It shall promote understanding, tolerance of religious groups, and shall further the activities of the United Nations for the maintenance of peace. Parents have a private right to choose the kind of education that shall be given to their children.
Article 27. Everyone has the right freely to participate in the cultural life of the community, to enjoy the arts, and to share in scientific advancement and its benefits. Everyone has the right to protection of moral and material interest resulting from any scientific literacy or artistic production of which he is an author.
Article 20 says that everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedom are set forth in this declaration are fully realized.
Article 29. Everyone has duties to the community in which alone the free and full development of his personality is possible. Part 2. In the exercise of its rights and freedoms, everyone shall be subject only to such limitations which are determined by law solely for the purpose of securing our recognition and respect for the rights and freedoms of others and for meeting our requirements of morality, public order and general welfare in a democratic society. Part 3. These rights and freedoms may in no case be contrary to the purposes and the principles of United Nations.
Article 30. Nothing in this declaration may be interpreted as implying for any state, group, people any rights to engage in any activities or to perform any act aimed to the destruction of any of the rights and freedoms set forth herein.